Could you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Brent Erickson, and I'm a lifelong resident of Camas,
All right. Where were you born?
Vancouver, Washington, in 1958. On my mom's side of the family, we were pioneers. So my great-great-grandparents came to Camas in 1879, and they landed at what was in Parkersville. They came across the ferry, and then they homesteaded out in Fern Prairie. And to this day, there's some family members that still live on part of the property that they had homesteaded on. Growing up, I lived in downtown Camas, there down by the Burgerville area. And so we played a lot down by the railroad tracks and in the lumberyard. But my dad was a firefighter for the city of Camas. That was his career. And we spent a lot of time at the fire station that was located at the Camas Library now. And then they built the new fire station in 1967. Like I said, we played a lot in the downtown area, but we also were lucky enough to have the Liberty Theater. So we'd go to the matinee shows in the afternoon on Saturdays, or in the evenings on Saturday or Friday. The roller skating ring, which was located down there on 3rd Avenue by the Lacamas Creek Bridge. And then we played at the bowling alley a lot too. So that was our kind of our fun time. Well, back then in the 1960s, we had a lot of clothing stores, ladies' clothing stores. We had Farrell and Eddie's, we had a J.C. Penney's, a Moda Day. So it accommodated everybody who was living here. We didn't have the big malls that came in years later. But we had a Copeland Lumber, a big lumber yard right there on 3rd Avenue by Burgerville area and such. So it was its own town, but a lot of the people who lived here worked at the mill too.
So is that like a good thing that there wasn't any malls, do you think?
I kept the small town feeling, which we still have today. But the downtown areas in my lifetime has probably changed 5 different ways to where we are today. And what I mean by that is new things have come in to what you guys see today, the boutiques and such, and the more of the restaurants.
Yeah, it's very different.
That wasn't here 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Back then, like I say, it accommodated people's needs, with the little grocery stores, a meat market, a butcher shop. When I was growing up in a little grocery store was where Burgerville is now. Back in the 70s, there was a major strike at Crown Zellerback Mill, and a lot of families were upset. It was a long strike, so a lot of families were suffering from that strike. Mill management brought in people from out of town to keep the paper mill running, so that was a major hit to the town. The ups and downs, I would say the last recession in 2007, 2008 was a little bit of an impact, but not really, because Camas is continually to grow in population, so the people were able to keep us sustaining in a good financial condition here. I went to Helen Ballard, then went to JDZ, and then went to what was then the Garfield building, which was a junior high. So 7th and 8th grade at the junior high. And then they tore it down, half of it down in 1974. I went to Camas High School, so we were a 4-year high school at that point. We were the first class to become the freshman class to go there first.
You did?
After I graduated, I worked at what was then Gentry's Landing, down off 164th, the marina.
Yeah.
And I worked there for a few years. And then I went into banking and insurance. And then I went back to Les Schwab Tires for a few years. And then the last 19 years at the Chamber of Commerce for Camas Washougal. Pretty much what you see in the downtown core is what she was when I was growing up. But, like Burgerville came in later on. The Windermere Crest Real Estate Agency, that's a new store. That was a used car lot. So we had about 4 more gas stations than we do now in downtown Camas. There was a gas station located at 6th and Adams, 2 of them across from each other. The gas station there where the muffler shop is, across from the post office.
Oh, yeah.
And then one down across from Straub's Funeral Home. As far as promoting, in my past, I've been on committees on how we can make Camas a place to come to, what we want the town to look like as the years go by. Those are the committees I've been on. But if I may digress back to a couple things, I was a emergency medical service person. I ran volunteer firefighting, and I did that for 14 years and drove the ambulance. I was on the Parks Board for 25 years, from 1989 up until 2014. Well, having been on the first committee in 2001, I'm making Camas what she is today. You have the first Fridays, a collaborative group of us came together, making that a group so that we can showcase downtown Camas on Fridays.